in the morning, and then it turns breezy with a high of 65. Partly cloudy.
Good morning, everybody on YouTube. It's Dominic Ortiz with my good friend Peter Gordon. Another edition of Hammer Time coming your way. As we build our library here on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and share that Hammer Time is now on YouTube. Thanks for being there. We are about to begin.
With the WBEN First Alert Forecast, I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy.
Right now, 59 degrees and cloudy skies outside our Amherst studio. I'm Chris Giacobello. The WBEN Paul Davis Restoration Newsroom is the news feed that never stops. Stay in the know and follow our updated X feed for the latest by following at WBEN.
Here we go. Good morning, Buffalo. Yes, it's Dominic Ortiz. And of course, Hammer Time Radio starts right here, right now.
Leaking roof? Need new windows? Looking to remodel your kitchen or bath? You've come to the right place and the right time. Broadcasting on News Radio 930 WBEN since 1989, this is Hammer Time Radio. Brought to you by Lakeshore Bank, putting people first since 1891. Now, your host, your man for home improvements, Dominic Ortiz.
Good morning, homeowners, and welcome once again to Hammer Time Radio here on WBEN. Action-packed show for you again today as we spend our first segment speaking with my good friend Peter Gordon from Indoor Air Professionals. We are trying to get a hold of Senator Ort. If not, we have a clip of the public hearing that was held at the library. And if you were at the library, I understand it was quite a crowd. Would like to hear from you as to whether you felt as though you've got any satisfaction in attending that. I also will tell you the next public hearing is actually a virtual one. It's statewide. There are others in other cities, but the next one that you could easily participate in is coming up, and that is a statewide virtual public hearing. What are we attempting to accomplish in attending a public hearing? I don't know. I don't know. If you have an insight as to what might come from a public hearing, other than getting a chance to voice your opposition, but who's listening and what they're going to do about it is the magical question as we count down the days to January 1 and 100% electrification for new construction in residential single-family homes. That clock is ticking, and yeah, it's looming. In the meantime, though, let's say good morning to our good friend Peter Gordon from Indoor Air Professionals. Peter, it's always a pleasure to have you on, but having you in studio is an extra special pleasure.
I know, in this day of Zoom and team meetings, it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
To be in the flesh. I think the world needs to embrace this type of contact more.
Amen. Well said.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you know, as a longtime sponsor of the program, we like to spend a little time being able to get in depth with a conversation that we might have about your services. In the meantime, tell us what's new at Indoor Air.
Well, really, as we go into our 33rd year, and when you and I sat side by side in the studio 30 years ago, we had babies, and now we have grandchildren. So What's happened? Well, we continue to be, the go-to people for indoor air quality, and that all starts with, as I say, cleaning the toilet bowl, and that is clean out your forced air system, your HVAC ductwork, if indeed you have that. Some people still have radiant heat with split systems and so forth. But that's a good start. And then, of course, we've this summer with the heat and humidity, we've had our April Air high capacity dehumidifier. Those things have really been popular, and people are just getting more and more results. So they tell more people. And then, of course, the Healthway line of medical grade air purifiers that are 40 times more efficient than HEPA filters. But the main thing is that we know the labor market's tight, and in order to keep up the quality of the duct cleaning, we can't just add crews like that. You have probably the same issue.
Yeah, same issue.
So this is the busiest time of year, and the backlog starts to happen, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah. So a couple of things I want to touch on. Let's start in the basement, because in that we just came through a pretty hot and humid summer.
Yeah.
The April Air high capacity dehumidifier, just to tell the story that goes back in time to the Chinese fire starters and the fact that people lost their homes. In one case, I remember a young girl losing her pet. Those were a hazard. I think largely purged from the market as far as the safety side of it, but there's still a preponderance of dehumidifiers that are made offshore that are just not good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even go there with it. We all know that it caused fires, but that's history, and those odds are really slim. But what you just hit on is the fact that the standard dehus for $300 to $500, they run and run and run. I thought the greatest thing is that you had your GE, we plugged in the April Air 6-7 years ago, and your GE's humidistat was reading 52%. We plug in the April Air, it's really 62%. So they're
false reading
all the way through, and they false reading, and the issue is I had two of them trying to dry up my basement that I had water coming over the sill plate, because that would be, during a heavy rain, my drain tile would overflow because I have shale.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was puddles still to this day. But the April Air, the high capacity dehumidifier, one of them dried it up where two of them didn't. So I didn't have to use a lot of extra Canberra gel and everything.
So the issue with the April Air high capacity dehumidifier is that they are more expensive. There's no denying that, but they work. Hello.
Yeah. Right.
That's kind of an important element to the whole equation, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah. When we talk about them being more expensive, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so the retail on them is $19.29, and we offer the Hammer Time listener $400 off, so $15.29. And when we do a little bit of math, generally they use a third less energy because they're drying really fast and then shutting off, and then drying fast, shutting off. Jerry's listening intently because he's going to buy one. Yeah, but anyhow,
kind of admitting a foolish mistake I made is, busy with life, I forgot to clean the filter.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was humid downstairs, and it wasn't working as well as I had expected it to.
Yeah.
And then it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Hello, idiot.
Yeah. No, I know.
Screwdriver.
Yeah.
One turn of the screw.
Yeah.
Pop out the filter, wash it in the sink, put it back.
Yeah.
And it works like a charm again.
Yeah. And I know, I've been in tune. There's some local contractors and stuff that are selling these for above. They really don't put a retail on there, and there's people selling them for over $2,000. And the beauty is this April Air won't allow anything we can't advertise in print that price. Okay. So they've done a great job of controlling it. We used to have to fight the big, Amazon and the big box places that were selling these, but they've totally controlled it. I think the minimum advertised price is $1,700.
And we can get them through
indoor air for almost $170 less.
And what about the warranty? Is there a difference in the warranty term?
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. If you buy it from an unauthorized dealer, which would be Amazon or these, giant warehouses, and they have a lot in Georgia. I don't know why Georgia, but the 5-year bumper to bumper warranty is voided unless it's sold by an authorized dealer like Indoor Air Professionals.
Well, there you go. It means a lot, right?
Yeah.
The warranty.
Yeah.
8030930 if you'd like to speak to Peter about indoor air quality issues. If you'd like to learn more about having your ductwork cleaned, participate in the program. 8030930. Outside Buffalo, you can call me free at 1-800-616-1037. WBEN, the Volkswagen of Orchard Park text board open and operating, same as our call-in number, 803-0930. By the way, Monday brings the next Come Home to Cortez cooking class, and this Monday is going to be an awesome class as we celebrate Southern classics, pasta norma, manicotti, and cannelloni. If you've ever wanted to learn how to make any of those, well, this is the class for you. It's September the 8th, Southern Classics. The class after that is September 22, and here's going to be another big popular one, Sunday at Nana's house, pasta pomodoro, chicken cutlets, and sauteed beans and garlic oil. Sunday at Nana's, 9/22. Those are the next two classes coming up. You can check out all of them at Cortez.net. The Come Home to Cortez Cooking School. And when you're on our website, check out everything we do at Cortez Construction. Maybe stop out and see us too at 9074 Main Street in Clarence. We are 2 miles east of Transit Road on the north side. Come out anytime. We'd love to have you come by and take a tour. Good morning from Dominic Cortez. And before you pick up the hammer, before you pick up the drill, pick up the phone and give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. Well, before we talk to you, though, we're going to travel to our one of our branches at Lakeshore Savings Bank and say good morning to Leo Rollo, the manager of the Snyder branch of Lakeshore. Good morning, Leo.
Good morning, Dominic.
How's everything at your branch today?
Wonderful. Wish the weather was a little bit nicer, but, we're here.
There you go. Now, some of our listeners are doing their banking with companies from outside of Western New York. What are the benefits with dealing with a local bank like Lakeshore?
So I would say one of the main benefits with a locally operated bank is that they understand the unique needs of Western New Yorkers. Lakeshore Bank has been serving this region for 134 years, so we really understand the needs of our customers better than anyone. Also, we have the flexibility and expertise to develop quick, customized solutions, and that's because all of our lending decisions are made right here in Western New York. Lakeshore Bank is committed to the economic health of this region by keeping deposits and loans right here in Western New York. The people that work at Lakeshore are your friends and neighbors, and we shop at local stores and help drive the local economy.
There you go. It sounds like a good time to consider switching to Lakeshore Bank. We couldn't be happier with our experience with the bank. It holds our mortgage on our building on Main Street. We do all of our banking there. And all the service, it seems, Leo, are really tailored to fit the Cortez construction needs.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the banking market itself might be changing, but we've been operating right here in Western New York since 1891. So for anybody out there that's looking for a bank that's had a long-standing presence and reputation in the community and is really willing to go above and beyond for their customers, why not take a look at Lakeshore Bank?
There you go. Why not is the question. Thank you, Leo. Tell us the phone number at your branch.
Yeah, so the Snyder branch, you can reach me today at 716-898-2101. We will be in the office until noon.
Okay, give Leo a call. Lakeshore Savings Bank, putting people first since 1891.
Wondering where to shop for home improvements? Well, you've come to the right place. Our sponsors have proudly earned the Hammer Time seal of approval by operating with honesty and integrity. So remember, to buy right the first time, buy from a Hammer Time partner. Hi, Dominic Cortez here for Lenco Supplies. If you're building a backyard deck, pergola, or even a pole barn, trust Campbell Fasteners for the job. From structural fasteners to stainless steel and coated deck
paper towels
screws, Campbell gives you long-lasting quality. Their drive system makes installation fast and easy. You can stand while you're fastening with precision. Lenco has everything you need. Shop online or visit one of their 3 convenient locations. And don't forget, local delivery is free on orders over $500.
Hi, it's Susan Rose. When I needed my kitchen remodel, I trusted Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, and I couldn't be happier. That's why I'm excited to share this. Right now, Decora Cabinets is doing something they've never done before. They've dropped their price by 25% to Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, and now they're passing that savings directly onto you. While the cost of most home improvements keeps going up, you can remodel your kitchen or bath with high-quality Decora cabinets at a huge discount. Shop in person at Kitchen and Bath Unlimited today.
This is Dominic Cortez. Fall is on its way, and winter's not far behind. Make sure your home stays comfortable all season long with a $99 health and safety checkup from TRS Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an upgrade? Well, TRS can recommend a high-efficiency range system to keep you cozy and warm with flexible financing to fit your budget. Nothing beats rain. Visit TRSHeatingandAirConditioning.com for details. TRS Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Access.
Puts foot in mouth. He goes, I'll try to call him. So if we see Steve, let's push him through.
Live, local, Buffalo, all day long. News Radio 930 WBEN.
10:21 is Hammer Time. It's Dominic, and how are you? 803-0930 is the number to call. Anything around the house as we celebrate our long-standing relationship with Indoor Air Professionals, taking your questions until the bottom of the hour. We're going to hopefully either speak to Senator Ord or we have a clip of his interview with Susan and Brian. We'll talk a little bit about the hearings that are scheduled, that was scheduled and will be scheduled throughout the state. And then 11 o'clock, open phone lines, anything around the house between 11 and noon. Peter, as we get ready for the heating season, which, by the way, you predicted September 30, but I think for the advent of the heating season, I think you probably already missed the fact that we had some 40-degree weather
Last weekend. Yeah. No, I
but as we get ready for the heating season, I think we want to make sure we pay attention to what we just went through, which was the air conditioning season, where moisture collects in your ductwork, and the dust and debris that it collects with that moisture could become laden and impacted into the ductwork more readily because of the moisture. Isn't that true?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's like the 8th grade science project. You've got the contamination, and this is an important thing, is that I tell people all the time, you know what, put this in perspective. We do new build homes that haven't been lived in every single week. We roll the trucks. We do at least one new build. It's great that new builds are still going on. Hopefully we can put gas in them. But the point is all the drywall, dust, carpet, fibers, grout, all the materials, nail, everything gets swept in there like a central refuge. They put screens on and whatever, but the respirable dust gets
drywall dust gets through everything.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's how it starts out. And then after that, the big culprit is people say, oh, my cats are going to find a ton of dander or dog. It's like, wait, we the people shed 50 million dead skin cells per person per day, and that creates this gray fuzz. So what you were just talking about is add the moisture to the gray fuzz with the construction debris in the dark place of the ductwork, and it's a great place to make mold.
It's a tough sell from the perspective of it's out of sight and therefore out of mind. And we tend to, as humans and maybe as busy people working and going about our workaday life, that we ignore what's not right in front and center under our nose.
Yeah, and the tough part too is that the duct cleaning industry as a whole is terrible.
It's a scam.
It starts with bad equipment. You and I can go buy these roto brushes for around $10,000, or the low volume air tools that use like 15 to 20 CFM of air volume, cubic feet a minute of air volume, and they miss the sides, the tops, the dampers, the boots. Do I need to go on?
Right.
So most of the cleaning gets done at a 30 to 40% level, and we can, with a $90,000 now column system, we can get 95%. And that is why I think the biggest testament is that over 100 contractors like Cortez Construction refer or sub us exclusively. And here's the kicker: 28 used to be competitors. They went out, they bought this other stuff, they did duct cleaning, and then people would hear, maybe a spot on Hammer Time or a referral from another contractor. They call into our air. We go in under the normal window of 3 to 5 years, and then we would pull out a bushel of dirt left behind. And we've been on the news 17 times in 32 years, exposing the scam. But so that there's this heating contractor that was doing the best they could, but with the wrong equipment. And, then the customer calls and says, hey, what are you going to do? And they go, well, we did the best we could. Some might give their money back, but others, they'll say, well, that $6,000 furnace or AC you just proposed, see you later. So it doesn't make sense to lose a big $5,000 to $6,000 sale in your core business of HVAC over generally $1,000 duct cleaning.
The problem with this whole thing is you really don't know you've been ripped off until it's too late.
Right. Yeah. No, I know. And with the bad equipment goes the bait and switch. They'll go, oh yeah, they won't even ask about the house, and they'll go, oh yeah, it's about $575, and then they get there and they go, oh, you want the returns clean too? That's another $225. Oh, you want sanitizing? That's another $175.
So while you're touching your toe into that topic,
Yeah.
why don't you explain to our listening audience how you go about estimating the ductwork process?
So yeah, we ask for the address. So if you have to leave a message today, because I can't answer the phone and talk on the radio at the same time, leave your address. So we look up the home, and in half the cases, your home is one of the lucky 65,000 homes we've done in the past 32 years. But if it's not, then I look it up online on Zillow or Redfin, get the square footage, and then if it's a 2,000 square foot house, you're bound to have approximately 1 run per 100 square feet of floor plan. So there would be 20 runs, about 13 to 15 supply, 5 to 7 cold air returns. That's the main thing, the number of runs, the age of the home. There's 6 categories of age. The older it is, the more contamination, the longer it takes to blast out. And lastly is the access. If you have a fully finished basement with drywall ceiling, that's going to add maybe $100 or so to that. So it's a pretty simple formula. Only if the house is above 4,000 square feet with multiple air handling units do we need to come and look at.
So what should a homeowner expect to pay for that average number that you said?
Yeah, as I said, it's around $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally
So small. Now a customer calls in and they're a repeat and they have 1,000 square foot house with 10 total runs, then they're below what we would like to have as our minimum. They're sub $800.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to honor whatever we advertise as a discount.
Is there pricing advantages to reoccurring cleaning? So if you're cleaning every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, because so there's categories of age, 0 to 14 years, 15 to 30 adds $50, 31 to 45 adds $75, and so forth. So if you're calling back under 14 years, which most people, once they realize the benefit, especially if they have asthma or allergies, they're calling back in 3, 4, or 5 years. Yeah, then that whatever that age charge drops right off. Plus, we have a built-in repeat discount, but usually the Hammer Time discount will trump that. But unfortunately, over the course of the next 6 weeks, we will be talking very little about the discounts because, as I said, we can only put so much work into place. And everyone waits, they procrastinate to call in when the heat comes on. It's like you got to get in line and you may not get, the same savings you get in January or February,
Well, after the bottom of the hour news break, we're going to get into exactly what the discounts you should expect for the first week of September, just in time before the big rush, and probably a good time for you to take advantage of getting the services done. If you are in need of duct cleaning, or maybe you're not sure, then maybe a call to Peter after the show might be a way to learn about what indoor air professionals can do for you, both from the duct cleaning perspective, from the April Air high capacity dehumidifier, and of course the medical grade air purifier, not to mention the awesomeness of Canberra.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
It is coming up to the bottom of the hour, and that means it's time for the top of the news. We're back with more right after the news.
I was wondering It's not.
WBEN 930 AM as Buffalo as Beef on Weck.
Then people, they don't have to wait as long.
So, a pair of teens are facing murder charges for allegedly.
Peter wants to move the commercial to 45.
The U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, says her Pianjakin was biking on the evening of June 30th when several suspects jumped out of a stolen car and started shooting.
Fox's Madeline
I
Rivera,
gotta get
authorities say
into
the 21-year-old was not the intended target. A
So
third
we'll play,
suspect is being sought. The Defense
after the
Department
break,
is now the
we'll
Department
play
of War.
Orts. I'll toss to you for Orts. And then I'll mention the public hearing.
Of our nation at a moment's notice, not just to defend it. The Trump administration says the name
You hear me?
Department of War ensures peace through strength.
That's Fox's
Yeah,
Christina
not
Coleman.
going on.
President Trump signed an executive order yesterday
Yes,
calling
this guy
for the name change. America is listening to
How old
Fox
is
News.
Who's that's my chocolate?
Good
Yo.
morning. It's
Yeah.
10:31 from the WBEN Paul Davis Restoration Newsroom. I'm Chris Giacobello. Here's what's happening. The Bills kick off their last season in Highmark Stadium tomorrow night on Sunday Night Football when they take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Head coach Sean McDermott expressed what it means to play in Highmark and detailed the culture within the stadium.
You gotta have a lot of pride in where you're from and what you stand for in life, and that's no different now.
Everyone's a
How
conspiracy.
we treat this stadium, how we treat our community, and we take a lot of pride in ourselves and where we're from and who we play for and how we play. So in particular, playing at home, we've created a culture and a fandom, and it's important for us when we take
Yeah.
the field anywhere, but in particular at home.
Kicker Tyler Bass was placed on IR yesterday to begin the season, and the team will likely look to newly signed 41-year-old Matt Prater to kick during the home opener. You can catch all the Bills action on our sister station, WGR Sports Radio 550.
Yeah, they hired
The
somebody.
body
They
of
brought
a
somebody up from.
64-year-old female resident of Tonawanda was found
They
dead
brought
2
somebody
days
up
ago at
from,
around 5 p.m. After going for a walk almost a month ago. Bonnie Kaiser's
Texas
body
flag.
was found 2 miles into her walk into a wooded area. Foul play is not suspected, and the Erie County Medical Examiner's Office is currently working to determine the cause of her death. Fantastic Friends of Western New York will be holding its 7th annual Fantastic Friends Rock the Runway fashion show today at Orchard City. Debbie Cordona explained who the event is presented by and what
Where are you
spectators will
staying?
see.
The show is presented by
Yeah,
Nancy
yeah,
Family
they all
Foundation,
stay down
and
at the
it features
Richardson
specialty
Hotel.
needs models,
Because
and
the
as well as
wedding's right there.
heartwarming
You've been
events
in
to give
history
the
museum.
individual
Yeah.
a chance
What
to
a
shine
great
up on
venue
for a
stage
wedding.
and show their
Yeah,
ability.
The fashion show begins at around 7 today, and it will include a live and silent auction.
Did you see the art
WBEN
gallery?
news time is
Since you've been home?
10:33. The Just Called Jet First Alert
Look at this.
forecast
This
today.
is
We're looking at
one
a
of
high
our-
of 65,
one of my
and tonight
friends
we're
from
looking at
Utah
some stray
coming
showers
to the
possible,
game.
getting down
Let's
to a
see
low
it.
of 51.
They'll-
Tomorrow we got a couple of showers in the area with a high of 65, and on Monday we're looking at
Yeah,
some
this is-
partial
I took
sunshine
some
with a high of
pictures of the
66. Right
classic.
now it's
Yeah,
60
those are
degrees
cool.
and cloudy skies outside our Amherst studio. I'm Chris Giacobello. The
That's
WBEN
Jeremiah.
Paul Davis Restoration Newsroom is the news feed that never stops. Stay in
How
the
they
know
doing?
and follow our updated X feed for
And
the
that
latest
Judah
by following at
is a rock star,
WBEN.
We still don't know to what degree. You know, he's
So there's 3 now? Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Leaking roof? Need new windows? Looking to remodel your kitchen or bath? You've come to the right place and
okay.
the right time. Broadcasting on News Radio 930 WBEN since 1989, this is Hammer Time Radio.
Or someone asked me, who do you call for roof repair or replacement? I say call Ava Roofing and Siding. They install over 1.5 million square feet of shingles and siding annually across Western New York. When you call Ava, you get superior service, including expert foreman on every job. Get an on-the-spot free written estimate and project drawing for your roof replacement or repair by calling 343-ROOF or go to avaroofing.com. Ava also offers 0% financing. When quality matters, call Ava Roofing. Attention contractors, this is Dominic Cortez here to remind you that Herb Company is your trusted source for top quality contractor installed products. From tankless hot water heaters to energy efficient boilers and radiant heating systems,
I don't wear
Herb
one
has
in
what
my
you need
office
to stay ahead ahead of the curve. With building code changes coming next year, costs are likely to rise. So now's the time to lock in savings. Visit earncompany.com or call one of our non-dual sales associates at 825-1400 today. Plan ahead and save with Earn Company, your partner in excellence. Dominic Ortiz here. Fall's around the corner and the perfect time to get your home ready for winter. USA Insulation's premium foam seals every gap, keeping warm air in and the Buffalo chill out. Keep your home cozy and your heating bills stay lower. New York homeowners may qualify for up to 80% off insulation costs with state and federal incentives. USA Insulation even offers spray foam for homes and businesses. Call 716-431-4500 or USAinsulation.com. USA Insulation. And tell them Dominic sent you. This is Dominic Ortiz. Fall is on its way and winter's not far behind. Make sure your home stays comfortable all season long with a $99 health and safety checkup from TRS Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an upgrade? Well, TRS can recommend a high-efficiency heating system to keep you cozy and warm with flexible financing to fit your budget. Nothing beats free. Visit TRSHeatingandAirConditioning.com for details. TRS Heating, Air Conditioning, and electrical access. Powering tomorrow, comforting today.
He's allergic to whatever they put on the form. So his fingers.
Read the news online at WBEN.com.
10:37 is Hammer Time. Good morning from Dominic Ortiz. My guest in studio is Peter Gordon from Indoor Professionals. I mentioned that the public hearings are running around the state for the public to have a chance to speak out about the draft state energy plan. The draft plan kind of is an interesting perspective on the whole issue of electrification in that it includes consideration of other forms of energy generation, kind of as an umbrella approach, which to me makes a lot of sense. So you can Google the New York Energy Plan, and I can tell you that the next hearing, the actual physical next hearing, is this Wednesday in Albany at 5 p.m. And it's going to be held at the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation on Broadway in Albany. But Saturday the 13th, a week from today at 11 a.m. is a statewide virtual meeting. It's a Zoom meeting, and there's a event number and a call-in number. And I'll give those out. But again, you can go to New York Energy Plan, Google that. It's in the New York State website. And you will find the comment at public hearings section. And again, the state's encouraging the public to provide oral comments on the draft energy plan at the public hearings across the state. And they run through September. The State Energy Planning Board is hosting 7 in-person and 3 virtual hearings. And again, the Saturday the 13th at 11 a.m., the call-in number, get ready for this, write it down, 1-646-931-3860, and the event number 845-1583-6765. And I believe you're going to find this all on the Odyssey WBEN homepage. So check it out there as well. I'll repeat those numbers. The call-in number 646-931-3860. The event number 845-1583-6765, and that's a Zoom meeting on the 13th, next Saturday at 11 a.m. And Tuesday the 16th, it's Hudson Valley, 17th New York City, the 18th New York City Bronx, Long Island on the 29th of September, and on the 30th of September, another virtual meeting. So we'll remind you of that as we get closer to the end of the month. That virtual meeting, another Zoom meeting, Tuesday the 30th of September. So the question really on the table is, what do we expect to gain from these hearings? And interesting, the Wednesday hearing that was held at the Buffalo Erie County Public Library, Susan and Brian spoke to Senator Robert Orr about that.
Yes, that's correct, Susan. Ricky, we've seen energy utility bills go up in New York as a result of the PSC-approved rate hikes in some cases by 15% in some areas or in certain bills. And under this plan, essentially what is happening, and this is a continuation or maybe a culmination of what we've seen as far as All Electric Buildings Act. You've seen the elimination of the 100-foot rule. We've seen the CLCPA and sort of the result of that, banning gas appliances, gas hookups as of January 1st of 2026. You won't be able to build a new home in New York that has gas appliances or gas hookups. And under this plan, it's really a formalized transition to a forced electrification of New York, the elimination of natural gas as an option. Nuclear, the governor pushed it earlier this summer. That's not anytime soon. That is not, and that's far from a certainty at this juncture. And so you're getting away from fossil fuels. You don't have a replacement for that. You think you're going to power the whole state off of wind, solar, and electric. And what that's going to result in, because you're seeing less choice for New York consumers and less reliability as a result of that choice or lack of choice, is you're going to see higher prices and less reliability. So you're going to pay more and you're going to have a less reliable power source because currently the grid cannot handle the base load that we currently have. So as you bring more people, forcing more people into electrification onto the electric grid, you're going to have more challenges, possibly brownouts and that kind of a thing. And so we are encouraging New Yorkers. Last night there were a lot of Western New Yorkers at the Buffalo Public Library. We're encouraging people to go out to these hearings to either submit written comments or speak publicly against this plan and let these folks hear from not just Rob Orr and George Borrello and other elected officials, but hear from ratepayers directly.
This was recorded for this.
So that was an interview with Brian and Susan on Thursday after the Wednesday night hearing. And if you were there, we'd like to hear from you at 803-0930. I understand it was quite a crowd. It was very well attended. And I guess the question I have for you, if you call in about this, is what do you think is going to come of it as these hearings roam the state? Again, next Saturday, a virtual meeting. And I gave out the numbers. We'll repeat that again. 803-0930, participating in the program. A texter's writing, "Hi, Dominic. We are getting an estimate from USA Insulation. I'm glad you called them. To shoot foam into our exterior walls due to the cold coming. They want to include an estimate for the attic foam insulation too. Should we get both done at the same time, or is it okay just to get the walls done?" I would think that if they are assessing based on an energy audit what your overall needs are, now would be the time to get it all done and get it done once and for all. There may be some incentive money too, based on the performance level that you're going to achieve with this higher insulation package. So I think it would be prudent to go ahead and have it all done so that you can benefit from not only the possible incentives that the state's offering, but also from being more comfortable as a result of being comprehensive with what you had done. So I would advise, I would advise that you go for the full package. Another texter, Dom, I typed a well over 1,100 word comment on the New York State Electrification website. The site refreshed and deleted all the information. Oh my gosh, what a shame. I don't know what to say about that other than I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, there's a place I guess you could write in public comments. But again, my question for those that attended is, what do you think is going to come of it? And do you think our voices are going to be heard at these public hearings? Because the end result is January 1 is right around the corner. And once that date hits, any building permit is going to have to be 100% electric. So, yeah. Another texter's writing, "It's not the politicians, it's the people who vote them in." Well, that's true. But how do we deal with that? The disparity between the two parties, between the upstate, downstate divide, the control that New York City has over the state, the liberal versus more fundamentally conservative outlook, the green movement being more entrenched in the left, and I don't understand why that is. Being green is, I think, a good thing for all of society. Why does it have to become a political football? These are all the questions that I relate back to the question that it's the people who vote in the politicians. But the influence from downstate is so overwhelming. I don't know whether we'll ever get over that. And maybe we need to start moving in the direction of upstate New York being a separate state so that we can have policies that aren't impacted by New York City. Peter, back to the topic at hand. When we look at the process and the benefit of the indoor air cleaning, thoroughness of the cleaning, what true benefits should we expect as far as upper respiratory breathing?
Yeah, well, this is really doing a proper and thorough duct cleaning and sanitizing with the all-natural Canberra spray is all about your health. So if you don't have any sinus or allergies or whatever, a lot of people still say, I feel the air feels lighter. I used to dust 3 times a week. Now I dust once or twice a month. But what really gets us supercharged, is when people say, I saved $500 on allergy medication, shots, doctor's visits, because they don't have to treat symptoms anymore because the floating particles are way less. So that to us is huge, and people, it's hard to get their minds around. And other times I ask people, do you have any sinus or allergies? And they're like, nah, just the normal stuff. And I like the normal stuff. It's everyone in Western New York has sinus.
Yeah,
well,
right.
So, but then you don't have to continue to feed that with extra floating particulate every time your furnace or air conditioning kicks on. So the thorough duct cleaning, first and foremost, makes for a healthier environment. And so anyone with any minor sinus, allergies, asthma, it's huge. Okay. And it's not an every year thing. It's 3 to 5 years. Some people will notice the difference. Once again, the 50 million dead skin cells per person per day start to accumulate in the duct system pretty quickly. So a hypersensitive person will call us in 3 years. We don't even send out reminders, postcards, or calls for 4 years or 5 years sometimes. And people call, God, has it been 15 years? But we're there for you. We were at your house. We know exactly what's there. Did anything change in your house? And, so forth. So it's to me, that is the thing. It's about your health. And of course, we know so many people that are suffering from cancer and other diseases, and then they have chemo or that wipes out their immune system. So now they have become super hypersensitives, and that's where not just the thorough duct cleaning, but we add one of those the Healthway medical grade air purifier into the mix, or maybe they don't have forced air, and we go right to that.
Yep, that's our house.
Yeah.
We're a hot water house, and the medical grade air purifier, Diane loves that. It cleans the air in the bedroom and provides a little white noise as well.
I love the white noise. Yeah. We run ours on medium, and it really is a game changer for sleep. And as I've gotten older, I have a CPAP machine now, and sleeping is not as easy as it used to be. It used to be, a glass of wine before dinner or whatever, and I'm like, it doesn't work that well anymore.
803-0930. Still time for you to participate in the program. Again, if you were at any of the public hearing, I'd like to hear from you and your comments on how you think it went, and anything for Peter as well, up until 11 o'clock. And then from 11 to noon, we'll open it up to general questions, anything around the house that needs my attention this Saturday morning here on WBEN. Good morning from Dominic Ortiz. This is Hammer Time Radio on WBEN. Well, we look forward to Peter's visit every week, and this week we're benefiting by having him in person And Peter, we've celebrated 32 years together, or 32 years you've been in business. And how long have you been a sponsor of the program? Almost close to
I think
all of
it's
that.
close to 30.
Yeah. So it's been a long-standing relationship, and we do value your involvement with the program, and we hope it's benefited you as well.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, this is an opportunity to educate people on the unseen enemy. The biggest thing is it's out of sight, out of mind. And people, oh yeah, I'm going to call for duct cleaning and get the cheapest price. And that it leads to disaster because of bad equipment out there. You know,
you're here today, and we want to make sure we play up the fact that when you're here, we'd like to give extra special consideration to our Hammer Time listeners. So what's that going to be?
All right. Well, we're keeping locked in the $400 off the April Air high capacity dehumidifier, which we discussed earlier. So that's
a great
an
discount.
awesome deal. As I said, I don't think anyone will beat that because you can't advertise, you could have the $200 off from what is the
plus you get the warranty.
Yeah, the 5-year bumper to bumper, but then $400 off the medical grade air purifier, which we're looking at over in the corner in the Odyssey Studios here. And that covers 1,200 square feet, and that's just a game changer for people with hypersensitivities or just wanting the best air, as well as the duct cleaning. So here's the rub: it's supply and demand. So next week, I'm going to say right now, we'll still do $150 off the duct cleaning, but as we inch towards October, and right now you're scheduling towards the end of September, it's about a 2 to 3 week backlog. We do have a priority move up list, which would, anyone with allergy, sinus, asthma, special needs, and if you have flexibility, we'll be able to move you up as we either add crews, pull them off commercial or Navy, and or other people have to postpone, go out of town, grab a broker hit. So we scheduling, the average job, essentially we schedule jobs at 8 a.m. and 12 noon. It takes 2 technicians, a minimum of 2 and up to 3.5 hours. So it's generally a half a day process.
716-683-3000, extension 303. Now Peter's here, so you got to be patient.
Yeah.
Leave a message
and the address.
And
leave your address.
Yes, as Peter said, make sure you leave your address when you leave a voicemail for him. He'll call you back as soon as he gets off the air in a few minutes. 716-683-3000, extension 303. Got IAP? Get it today. Here's a good question. When you come back, do the same.
And we throw. Yeah, that's a great question. We'll throw
Hammer Time listeners, it's time to gorilla your basement. Right now, get 10% off our beautiful residence basement floor, 20% off custom cabinet and storage solutions, and a whopping 30% off truss core panels to get your basement holiday ready. Why is the gorilla floor the best in West New York? We're the only ones bold enough to guarantee protection against the #1 cause of floor failure, moisture. Every gorilla floor comes with a built-in vapor barrier at no extra cost. No shortcuts, no peeling, no failures. Just gorilla strong protection. Visit GorillaGarageGear.com.
Sheet metal patch gets done.
Hi, Dominic Ortiz here for Lenco Supplies. If you're building a backyard deck, pergola, or even a pole barn, trust Camo Fasteners for the job. From structural fasteners to stainless steel and coated deck screws, Camo gives you long-lasting quality. Their drive system makes installation fast and easy. You can stand while you're fastening with precision. Lenco has everything you need. Shop online or visit one of their 3 convenient locations. And don't forget, local delivery is free on orders over $500. This is Dominic Ortiz. Fall is on its way, and winter's not far behind. Make sure your home stays comfortable all season long with a $99 health and safety checkup from TRS Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an upgrade? Well, TRS can recommend a high-efficiency Ream system to keep you cozy and warm with flexible financing to fit your budget. Nothing beats Ream. Visit TRSHeatingandAirConditioning.com for details. TRS Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Excellence. Powering tomorrow, comforting today. Dominic Ortiz here. Fall's around the corner and the perfect time to get your home ready for winter. USA Insulation's premium foam seals every gap, keeping warm air in and the Buffalo chill out. Keep your home cozy and your heating bills stay lower. New York homeowners may qualify for up to 80% off insulation costs with state and federal incentives. USA Insulation even offers spray foam for homes and businesses. Call 716-431-4500 or USAinsulation.com.
I don't know what.
And tell Dominic sent you.
It's not like everybody's out.
WBEN 930 AM as Buffalo adds the Skyway.
High school football is usually Friday nights, right? Little League, I guess, is general.
10:55. It's Hammer Time. Good morning from Dominic Ortiz. Couple of minutes left in our first hour with Peter Gordon, and after the 11 o'clock news, we'll open it up to anything around the house that needs my attention. Open phone lines from 11 till noon here. At noontime, of course, it's Senior Radio with Linda Pellegrino. Peter, a question on the text board. Does IAP use the same entry areas in the ducts in future visits? That's a great question.
That's an awesome question. Yeah, of course we do. So we usually use a 6 by 6 inch sheet metal covers for most of the access, and we try to minimize the access. And it's put on with a special silicone caulk and zip screws. However, we throw away the old one and then clean up the surface and put brand new ones on. And then sometimes you'll see spiral or this round ductwork in some of the high-rise facilities, or if it's a kind of an attractive look. And we have special doors. We use duct-made doors to seal it up if people want that it to look really, really neat. But most of the time, the access points are very neat, and we use the same ones with new covers.
So that enables you then, when you on the return visit, to save a little time. Does that save the homeowner a little money?
It does, but it doesn't. We can cut the hole in 40 seconds, and to get the old patch off, the old cover off, and put a new one on takes more time. But what we're not dealing with usually is the 5, 10, 20, 30 years of detritus in the ductwork. So generally, that's what brings the cost down. Plus, we value our repeat customers.
Now, we don't talk much in your weekly visit about Canberra gel, other than mentioning it.
Yeah,
but that's a pretty amazing product unto itself.
Yeah.
Tell us about its history, because it's connected right to Buffalo.
Yeah. So, in 2008, we were putting raw tea tree oil jars in blower compartments, and then we formulated it into a more usable gel. And the long and short of it is that Joel Solly, the CEO, works directly with the farmers in Australia. There's 272 species of tea tree oil, and he has found the purest form. A lot of people think it's bad for pets. That'll tell you that on the internet, but not the form that we use. It's actually sold in pet stores. But the way it works is it breaks down bacteria, mold, and even virus at the cell wall level as the air currents move over it. So that's the gel. So it kind of is like Pac-Man's, what we call VOCs, volatile organic compounds. So it's amazing. And it comes standard. The spray is sprayed through the supply side of the system after the thorough duct cleaning. But a lot of people will add Canberra gel for ongoing protection. It's great.
The benefits of the product are really kind of endless. It's good at moisture control. It's good, obviously, at odor control.
Yeah, the odor more than anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've had people that put it on their nightstand, and they say that they've had sinus surgeries before, and they get relief from just having the gel there. And it's not meant to light up the whole house. It's just to bring everything to neutral. So like where my dog hangs out, the jar gets used up faster than just in our bedroom where we don't let him sleep with us. Yeah.
When our visit to Australia, we got to experience the koala bears enjoying the eucalyptus leaves, and it's funny how they look sleepy and they look groggy,
Yeah.
and they say that that's not connected to eating the tea tree.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for spending
Thanks
the
so
hour
much. Yeah. God bless to
Right.
all the listeners.
And go
out there.
Bills, right?
Go Bills. Yeah. Can't wait for tomorrow.
We'll see you,
See you
after the news.
Tailgate. Yeah.
All right, bud. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to go to the big tree. That's where they park the illegal
So
equipment now.
tomorrow's Monday's Nick's birthday, so we're gonna do his birthday dinner at home. It's my game, and we're going to get to our spot around 5:30. We now park at Abbott and Richmond. It's where the Polio restaurant is, Kettle's restaurant.
Yeah,
Kettle's right
okay.
across the street right there.
Okay, a guy who's buying my Jets tickets is the head chef at the Fancy Rides and Snowboard. Yeah, and he goes to Kettle.
Okay.
Yeah. So I may stop by there, but I don't even know. I've got to connect with them. I'm going there for dinner.
Apparently is reportedly been notified he'll be deported to Eswood.
Yeah, so you're at Kettle's basically?
It's across the street. It's on the opposite side of Kettle's.
Okay. And how far is that from?
It's a mile. Same walk as before. A
Okay.
mile in, and it's just an easier route for us because now we're north of the stadium.
Okay.
So we can go north on Abbott and then go either left on my mile strip or turn right on my strip, depending on the traffic. We get home in a half hour now.
Okay, so but you're still doing like transit to the parallel route like Aurora and that stuff?
When we get out now,
Yeah.
we're ahead of the curve enough where we can get on the freeway.
Okay, even if you're there, if it's a fence.
Yeah, because where we're parked, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's kind of like an interesting phenomenon.
Yeah.
If we're way ahead, lately we've been walking out minutes early.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think tomorrow's gonna be, they're gonna give it everything they got.
Yeah.
To beat that team.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's
Did you see the new
59
uniform?
degrees and cloudy
Yes.
skies
Yeah,
in
so they're
Buffalo.
talking about
From the
people wearing
WBEN
white.
Paul
My
Davis
shirts are
Restoration
all blue,
Newsroom.
but
I'm Chris Giacobello. Top stories today. A lost sign and a
Yeah.
Guyana man
All right.
accused. The
Thanks for
WBEN
having
first
me
alert
in
forecast
again.
calls
Yeah, of
for
course.
mostly
Yeah,
clear
we'll,
skies with a late stray
get
shower for the rest of your
probably
Saturday.
let
Here's
October
what's
go
happening.
by.
The Bills
Yeah,
kick off their
Joel's like,
last season in
yeah,
Highmark
like,
Stadium tomorrow
why
night when they
we
take
can't
on Lamar
put enough
Jackson and the
work in
Baltimore
place.
Ravens.
Why do
Edgar
any
Tyler
of
Bass
this
was
stuff?
placed on injured reserve
That's how
yesterday to start the
radio works.
season,
So
and the team
you know
will
what?
likely
We're
look to
gonna
newly
have to
signed 41-year-old
artificially
Matt
bump
Prater
up
to
the
kick
price
their
a little.
home opener.
Our
Yeah.
job
As
is to
far
get
as
the
game
phone ring.
operations go,
Yeah,
head
right.
coach
What
Sean
you do with
McDermott
it from
expressed
there
the
is-
possible challenges from playing a team like the Ravens.
So I'll probably go one, depending on the backlog, 125 next week, and then we'll just settle it at 100, and just see what happens. You know. So,
Okay.
all right. Thanks so
All right.
much. Yeah, I'll see you
Take
tomorrow.
care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay well.
Awesome. Yeah.
You can catch all the Bills action on our sister station, WGR Sports Radio 550. A 27-year-old man from Guyana was arrested yesterday and is being accused by a criminal complaint
Kim
of escaping
Langer's
from
still the man
custody
in
after
charge,
being
right?
detained
Oh, yeah.
at the Rainbow Bridge.
He's a good
It was
guy.
said that Andre Ali did not have any identification documents while attempting to cross the bridge and was escorted to a secondary inspection where it was also determined that he was unlawfully present in the United States. Ali was admitted to the U.S. in April of 2018 as a visitor and was authorized to remain for a temporary period not to exceed 6 months. A Romanian organized crime group was arrested in Orchard Park earlier in the week. Buffalo Deputy Patrol Agent Martin Combs was in charge and detailed how many arrests were made.
There were 2 males and 1 female. We have processed all 3 of them, and they will be turned over to ICE for deportation.
Combs went on, also added on to explain what the proceedings will look like for the 3 Romanian suspects.
Again, we're turning them over to ICE custody and they'll have a due process as far as removal proceedings with an immigration court, and eventually they will be removed from the country and returned back to Romania.
Combs stressed what will happen when it comes to deportation and what will happen if caught entering the U.S. illegally.
Our inspector chief has been putting out, as long as the deportation is final, we will do our best effort to locate these individuals, arrest them, and turn them over to ICE and process them for removal from the country.
The body of a 64-year-old female resident of Tonawanda was found dead 2 days ago at around 5 o'clock. After going for a walk almost a month ago, Bonnie Kaiser's body was found 2 miles into her walk into a wooded area. Foul play is not suspected, and the Erie County Medical Examiner's Office is currently working to determine the cause of her death. Assemblyman Patrick Klaczynski announced yesterday that the law he co-sponsored to expand the use of crossbow hunting in New York State has been signed by Governor Hochul. The bill amends the Environmental Conservation Law to include crossbows in the definition of bows eligible for use during archery, muzzle loading, and big game hunting seasons. The new law is set to take effect immediately and will apply in the appropriate upcoming seasons. WBEN News Time is 11:05. The Just Call Jet First Alert forecast is next.
Miss a show, segment, or interview? Download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. Favorite WBEN and listen live to any of our content on demand, wherever you are.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive.
All right,
Child
everybody,
wants to
rest of the
thrive.
show.
Be the reason.
Hopefully people call it.
Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
All right, see you tomorrow.
The WBEN First Alert forecast calls for clouds and sunshine this afternoon. Breezy, high 65. Mostly clear tonight. You'll see a stray shower. Low for the rest of your Saturday, 51. Sun and clouds on Sunday. A few showers. Cool with a high 66 and a low 49. Partly sunny on Monday with a high 66 and Tuesday's high 72. With the WBEN First Alert forecast, I'm Andy Robb.
Currently 59 degrees and cloudy skies outside our Amherst studio. I'm Chris Giacobello. The WBEN Paul Davis Restoration Newsroom is the news feed that never stops. Stay in the know and follow our updated X feed for the latest by following at WBEN.
When you want to done right, call Dominic Cortez. Call Cortez, your man for home improvement. Leaking roof? Need new windows? Looking to remodel your kitchen or bath? You've come to the right place and the right time. Broadcasting on News Radio 930 WBEN since 1989, this is Hammer Time Radio. Brought to you by Lakeshore Bank, putting people first since 1891. Now, your host, your man for home improvements, Dominic Cortez.
And we're back with another hour of Hammer Time Radio coming your way till noon. 803-0930. Open phone lines this hour. Anything around the house that needs my attention, this is the time for you to pick up the phone and give me a call. 803-0930 in the 716. Outside Buffalo, 1-800-616-WBEN. The Volkswagen Orchard Park text board open and operating as well. Same as our call-in number, 803-0930. The Fed reports that came out yesterday, federal reports that came out yesterday on the job counts being down and unemployment ticking up. Believe it or not, that could probably be argued as somewhat good news for the economy based on the interest rates. It looks like the Fed is looking for a slowdown in order to lower the rates. So lowering of the rates may actually be in our future here, and it might definitely help and impact not only home mortgage rates, but home equity rates. I know rates have kind of inched down somewhat, and they're getting close to a palatable range. And we've seen definitely some more confidence in the buying public as a result of better rates. But be interesting to see what your what your comments are about that as to, do you feel confident in this time of the economy to invest in your home? The good news about investing in your home is that it's pretty much a no risk proposition if you follow certain criteria to make that investment prudent, which is improvements that really bring money to the bottom line. And that's updates, modernizations that are essential not only for comfort, but also for value. And that would include, obviously, the kitchen and the bathroom, and keeping those areas maintained well. Exterior components that would include roofing, that's a maintenance item that kind of is required in order to preserve value in your home, is to keep your roof in good shape. Your overhangs and gutters, obviously good flowing gutters that work well, drain water away from the house. Is your siding all intact? Are your windows all functional, working? Do you have any broken seals on your windows? These are the kinds of things that really bring money back to you at resale. Where conversely, things like adding a swimming pool, a hot tub, and some other exterior improvements may be more just fluff. And actually, in the case of a swimming pool, it's been said, might actually adversely affect the value of your home. Well, not the value, I'm sorry, the appeal of your home, as far as it being more broad-based with not having a pool. More people are looking for a house without a pool than those that are looking for a house with a pool. So your comments on that, as we kind of enjoy and benefit from what appears to be, which is anticipated to be a reaction from the Federal Reserve on what they're going to do with interest rates as a result of a slowdown in the job market and an increase in the unemployment rate. The forecast is that it's going to benefit us as far as interest rates, and that the Fed's going to use that to cut rates. So, yeah, kind of an interesting twist on what might be a slowdown that might help actually in our borrowing power, and kind of ebbing and controlling the effects of inflation by doing it in a slow, methodical fashion, as what it appears to be the focus. And we can talk about that. We can talk about what improvements, as I mentioned, are prudent, and those that may not be. Basement renovations could probably be one that I would look at for value improvement, in that now when we do a basement renovation, we have to put in an egress window, which makes that square footage that we add in the basement legal square footage, which means it's billable square footage, which means it gets added to the square footage count of the house. So the house becomes that much bigger as a result of the basement square footage being added into it. So that kind of is free square footage to the extent that it's already there. Yeah, you're paying for the egress window and the build out, but the square footage doesn't have to be developed because it's already there, which has some great appeal in that you get a lot of bang for your buck. So that would be a basement renovation. I think that would be high on the list for return on investment. As I mentioned, kitchens and baths, and kitchen. What people are looking for when they remodel their kitchen is improvements to increase its functionality, the ergonomics of it. A lot of kitchens are dysfunctional, poor layouts, improper ventilation, work triangles that don't work, people bumping into each other when they're trying to cook together, that kind of thing. Those, believe it or not, that has a major implication on the value of a home in terms of its value and resale. So there you go. Those can be some questions for you, topics as well. And anything else that, again, that needs my attention around your house, 716-803-0930. Don't forget to check out the upcoming cooking classes. As I mentioned, the next one is Monday, Southern Classics. September 22nd, Sunday at Nana's house. October 6th, Italian American Classics. That's going to be another popular one. chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, and fettuccine alfredo. If you've ever been to an Italian restaurant, those are the top three things that people order, right? On October 20th, we're going to be doing a class on classic sauces, bolognese, puttanesca, and aglio e olio, one of my favorites, oil and garlic. So check out all the upcoming classes, and it's all at Cortez.net. Come home to Cortez Cooking School, our wonderful chef, Jerry Clemente. And right next to the tab on our cooking classes is our Techno Metal Post tab. That's the Techno Metal Post helical pier installation replacing concrete. It's all listed on all of our services at the top of our website, Cortez.net. Good morning from Dominic Cortez. And before you pick up the hammer, before you pick up the drill, pick up the phone and give me a call. I'd love to talk to you.
What's something you need to live but rarely think about? The air you breathe. Dirty dust can cause headaches, allergies, even illness. Dust, pet dander, mold, it's all in the air. Call Peter today, 716-683-3000, extension 303. Ask about the Hammer Time discount on duct cleaning, purifiers, and dehumidifiers. Breathe better, live better. For every breath you take.
Hi, it's Susan Rose. I've been a customer of Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, and I can tell you firsthand, they deliver beautiful results. So if you've been thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bathroom, now is the time. Decora Cabinets has cut their prices by 25% to Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, and that savings is being passed on to you. That could mean thousands of dollars less for your kitchen remodel. This deep discount has never been offered before. Only at Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, Union Road near Walden in Cheektowaga.
Wondering where to shop for home improvements? Well, you've come to the right place. Our sponsors have proudly earned the Hammer Time seal of approval by operating with honesty and integrity. So remember, to buy right the first time, buy from a Hammer Time partner. Hi, this is Dominic Cortez. My family-run business believes in supporting other family-run businesses like Buffalo Plumbing Showroom. With their long tradition of excellence, they offer top-quality plumbing and design solutions. From water-sense fixtures to luxurious steam rooms and the latest Kohler innovations, you can trust their expertise to deliver high-quality materials at great prices. Call one of their sales associates at 826-1400 and schedule a visit to the Kohler Registered Showroom located at 600 Bailey Avenue today.
Lakeshore Bank believes in community banking with exceptional customer service and local expertise. Lakeshore Bank is here to help you with all your financial needs. From home financing to small business banking, Lakeshore Bank gives you access to state-of-the-art online banking tools and the attention, flexibility, and responsiveness you deserve. Visit one of Lakeshore Bank's 10 Western New York branches. Call 716-366-4017 or visit mylsbank.com today.
Hi, it's Dominic Cortez. Whenever someone asks me, who do you call for roof repair or replacement, I say call Ava Roofing and Siding. They install over 1.5 million square feet of shingles and siding annually across Western New York. When you call Ava, you get superior service, including expert foreman on every job. Get an on-the-spot free written estimate and project drawing for your roof replacement or repair by calling 343-ROOF or go to avaroofing.com. Ava also offers 0% financing. When quality matters, call Ava Roofing. This is Dominic Cortez. Fall is on its way, and winter's not far behind. Make sure your home stays comfortable all season long with a $99 health and safety checkup from TRS Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an upgrade? Well, TRS can recommend a high-efficiency Reeve system to keep you cozy and warm with flexible financing to fit your budget. Nothing beats Reeve. Visit TRSHeatingandAirConditioning.com for details. TRS Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Excellence. Powering tomorrow, comforting today.
Live, local, Buffalo. All day long. News Radio 930 WBEN.
11:20 is Hammer Time. Good morning. It's Dominic. And how are you? 803-0930, our weekly Saturday morning coffee clutch. Participate in the program. Anything around the house that needs my attention as we travel to Tonawanda and chat with Bob. Good morning, Bob. You're on WBEN.
Good morning,
my neighbor's got a tree that's about 4 feet from my line of the property over to his property.
Okay.
Tree's on his property. The tree itself is probably 50 years old, so it's a beautiful tree,
Mm-hmm.
right? But probably 50 to 60% of it hangs over my garage and my driveway.
Oh boy.
And I've had 2 contractors come down, tree contractors come down, and they say I can cut down anything that's over my
That's right.
side of the property.
That's correct.
And that's correct.
Yes.
It's going
What?
to make the tree look like hell.
Right. I was just going to ask, what kind of tree is it?
It's a silver maple.
Yeah. So my best advice to you, Bob, would be to try to speak with your neighbor and
I tried that.
yeah.
And it cost me $1,500 to trim the tree off of my property. It would have cost over $5,000 to cut it down. I asked my neighbors if they would, I'd share the cost, okay?
Right. That'd be the right thing to do.
Each. And they said no because they don't want to. They're thinking about moving in a couple of years and they don't want to put the money into the tree.
Well, but then you could point out what might not be the obvious to them, and that is an ugly looking shaped tree might affect the value of the house more than help it.
Right. Yeah, I didn't quite try that. They seem pretty adamant that they don't want to invest the money.
Well, here's what I would do. I would say, look, let's sit down and talk this through because I want to make sure I respect you as I hope you would respect me, as in that we live next to each other. I need to do this because of the imminence of perhaps danger to my structures. So you have to understand why I have to act on these branches, whether you're going to cooperate with me or not. And keep in mind, when I do what I have to do, which is my right to do, this tree is going to look terrible. And it would be prudent for your value, especially if you are considering selling, that we work this through together and we pay 50% each to get rid of this tree. And really, you're being fair and saying paying 50% when the tree is planted on their property. You're going to benefit by paying more by having it not affect your property. And you're going to help them by cutting the cost down to 50% of the total cost to improve their resale value by not having this tree look horrible when the sale comes.
Right.
So that would be the approach I would recommend. Now, it all comes down to how cooperative they want to be, and do they even have the money, and all of that. But I think it's the right approach.
Okay. Well, they got 4 cars. I assume they got the money to put into the whatever. Anyways.
I would say what I would probably most focus on, Bob, is what is this tree going to look like after my tree surgeon's done with it.
Right.
All right.
I will give it another try.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. I wish you luck. All right. Bob's line now available at 803-0930. Yeah, that is an interesting discussion to have. Is what is the property line implications of encroachment? And encroachment would mean anything that is crossing over your property line. The tree is a perfect example of that. But it also can be related to fences. Fences sometimes are improperly placed. Believe it or not, in my tenure in this industry, which is more than 50 years, I've seen mistakes in surveys. Wow, what a nightmare that is to sort out. A mistake in a survey. Now, what happened in this case, I remember an instance where there was neighbors that had a dispute over a property line, and what appeared to be obviously the property line wasn't. It's because the surveys were wrong. So they both had to, I don't remember who paid for it, but they both had to get new surveys done to straighten out exactly where their property line was. There's some liability there on the surveyor's part, but these surveys were hundreds of years old, if not more. And so, finding that surveyor, if he's still in business, is certainly the question. But yeah, the implications of the proper location of your property line can be serious when it comes to if there's a fence that might be sitting, on your property or conversely on your neighbor's property. That might be an issue. It might be falling down, it might be dilapidated, or it might be something that you might not want if it's on your property. So I guess the best advice is really to spend some time, if you're looking at buying a house, to analyze the survey and make sure you check it against the reality of what's there. A lot of times you'll see on the survey that the fence is posted on a survey, which is helpful because you can see where it falls, whether it's on your property or the neighbor's, and you can find the property line based on the dimensions that are shown on the survey as to where the fence is in relation to the property line. So it's great information to have, and hopefully your survey is on the money. Let's travel now to Hamburg and chat with Mike. Good morning, Michael. You're on WBEN.
Good morning, Dominic. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
I'm just like the gentleman that just called. I had an issue a year and a half ago. In January, we had a crazy windstorm, and the neighbor's tree limb took my garage door out and literally put a body width limb through my roof, and it's my garage.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I went through the whole thing with the insurance and that. They didn't want to pay for anything. I was willing to split the cost. Actually, I was willing to pay for the whole thing years prior, and they didn't want to do that. So everything you guys have been saying is true. Because I went through this. I went to the town. They won't get involved.
No.
Well, unless it's into the street, we'd really like the neighbors to handle it. So the thing that is missing in your conversation is, yes, he's allowed to do whatever he's over the property line. But
right.
If that tree dies within a year, you're responsible and they can come after you.
Well, who told you that?
The insurance company and the town.
I had never heard that before. So
I know, I didn't either.
Yeah.
So I was really leery of it. Finally, they actually did give in. I had to pay for the whole thing.
I'm going to question whether that's accurate. Not that you were told that, but that they told you something that was incorrect, because the implications that you have to protect your property would ride over the liability of the tree dying because of it, in my opinion. I mean, I think that's reasonable, to say it that way. Yeah.
Where do you find that answer out? That I went to the town of Hamburg, and my insurance company told me verbatim whole thing. But who do you go to now to find out if that is true or false?
Well, maybe we have a insurance agent listening who can help us with a homeowner's insurance question like this. If you are in that industry, give us a call and let us know what the implications are on a tree dying. Should it be cut? Should limbs be cut and the tree dies? I mean, does that really happen though? Does a tree die typically when it's been trimmed of its limbs?
Maybe depending on how many what limbs you're taking. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, your perspective and the previous caller, you've got your own property to worry about, your own property to protect. So you want to act with the prudence to do that before anything else is considered. So, so what if the tree dies? I'll deal with that later, I guess.
Dominic, I've been living there since '83, and I've got 4 neighbors where I've offered to take the tree down myself and pay for it, and all 4 neighbors forget it.
That's unbelievable.
So, yeah, I know. Thank you, Dominic.
Okay. Hey, thanks for that call. And again, if anybody in the insurance industry could pipe in and tell us if a tree dies that you trim the branches of that's on your neighbor's property, whether you are trimming these branches to protect your house, your roof, your property, are you obligated for that tree dying? I'm going to say, I would say no to that. But again, if you're in the insurance industry, I would love to hear from you this Saturday morning here, either by calling us at 803-0930 or text the same as that call-in number, 803-0930. When we come back after the 11:30 news, we'll continue the open phone lines, anything around the house, and maybe we'll get an insurance agent to pipe in and give us that comment about that liability for a tree dying, and anything else that you want to chime in about this Saturday morning here on Hammer Time Radio. Again, you know the number. It's 803-0930 in the 716. Outside Buffalo, 1-800-616 WBEN, and the Volkswagen Orchard Park Text Board, 803-0930. When we come back after the news, I'll repeat the phone numbers for the virtual call-in that's coming up next Saturday, a week from today, and I'll list the other events for the public hearings that you can participate in as well, right after the 11:30 news. It is the bottom of the hour, and it's time for the top of the news. We'll be checking in with the latest from the WBN newsroom and anything around the corner and around the world, right here on WBEN.
Live, local, Buffalo, all day long. News Radio 930 WBEN.
Paul Stevens, protesters rally outside a rumored ICE processing center in Broadview, Illinois, ahead of a possible White House immigration crackdown in Chicago.
The ICE detention facility expected to be operating 24/7 once immigration action begins, as the governor and others tell people to protest peacefully as to not trigger the need for President Trump to also send in the National Guard.
Fox's Jeff Manasso, more reaction to a recent U.S. Navy strike on a ship from Venezuela allegedly carrying drugs. Iowa Republican Senator Joni Ernst on Fox.
Let this also be a warning to China and others who continue to flood our streets with illicit drugs. It must stop, and we will take action to safeguard our communities.
Venezuela's president, meantime, accusing the U.S. of seeking a regime change. America's listening to Fox News.
From the WBEN Paul Davis Restoration Newsroom, I'm Chris Giacobello. Here's what's happening. A Romanian organized crime group was arrested in Orchard Park earlier in the week. Buffalo Deputy Patrol Agent Mark Combs was in charge and detailed how many arrests were made.
There were 2 males and 1 female. We have processed all 3 of them, and they will be turned over to ICE for deportation.
Combs also added on to explain what the proceedings will look like for the 3 Romanian suspects.
Again, we're turning them over to ICE custody. They'll have their due process as far as removal proceedings with an immigration court, and eventually they will be removed from the country and returned back to Romania.
Combs went on to stress about what will happen when it comes to deportation and what will happen if caught entering the U.S. illegally.
Our sector chief has been putting out all along that deportation is final. We will do our best effort to locate these individuals, arrest them, and turn them over to ICE and process them for removal from the country.
The WBEN Paul Davis Restoration Newsroom is the news feed that never stops. Stay in the know and follow our updated next feed for the latest by following at WBEN.
Broadcasting on News Radio 930 WBEN since 1989, this is Hammer Time Radio. Brought to you by Lakeshore Bank, putting people first since 1891.
Hammer Time listeners, it's time to gorilla your basement. Right now, get 10% off our beautiful resinous basement floor, 20% off custom cabinet and storage solutions, and a whopping 30% off truss core panels to get your basement holiday ready. Why is the Gorilla Floor the best in West New York? We're the only ones bold enough to guarantee protection against the #1 cause of floor failure, moisture. Every Gorilla Floor comes with a built-in vapor barrier at no extra cost. No shortcuts, no peeling, no failures, just Gorilla Strong protection. Visit GorillaGarageGear.com. Hi, Dominic Ortiz here for Lenco Supplies. If you're building a backyard deck, pergola, or even a pole barn, trust Camo Fasteners for the job. From structural fasteners to stainless steel and coated deck screws, Camo gives you long-lasting quality. Their drive system makes installation fast and easy. You can stand while you're fastening with precision. Lenco has everything you need. Shop online or visit one of their 3 convenient locations. And don't forget, local delivery is free on orders over $500.
Looking to bring the gym to your home? G&G Fitness Equipment has everything you need to build the ultimate home workout space. With premium treadmills and bikes to top quality strength equipment and saunas, G&G offers top brands like Inspire, Light Fitness, Matrix, Grok Fitness, and more. Plus, enjoy financing options with 0 down and 0% interest. Visit us at Williamsville and Orchard Park or online at ggfitness.com. Let us help you build your bridge.
Looking for the perfect window treatments? At Budget Blinds in Williamsville, we're locally owned and bring the showroom to you with a free in-home consultation. From shades and blinds to drapery, shutters, and Roman shades, we offer a wide range of options, working with top vendors like Hunter Douglas. Plus, with our 5-year no questions asked warranty, you can trust us for the long haul. Visit us at 8050 Worley Drive or call today. With over 500 5-star Google reviews, we pride ourselves on exceptional service. Budget Blinds of Williamsville. Quality, service, and value in every window.
Transform every room in your home with Hurdle Home Consignment. New items arriving daily, so you never know what you'll find. Get inspired by their beautifully staged showrooms on Hurdle Avenue in Buffalo and at Georgetown Plaza in Williamsville. Filled with affordable, fine furniture and unique home accents for bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, and more. See it, buy it, love it, and take it home today. Hurdle Home Consignment, because you've got to keep it decorated. Shop online at hurdlehomeconsignment.com.
Imagine a dust-free environment in your home or workplace. Sounds too good to be true. Well, it is. But there's a catch. Indoor Air Professionals will tell you it's impossible because we shed 50 million skin cells daily. But their customers swear by the results. Indoor Air Professionals can improve dust, allergies, asthma, and even your heating and cooling system. They've even found lost money and jewelry. So call Peter at 683-3000 extension 303 for amazing deals.
For every breath you take. Hi, it's Susan Rose. I trusted Kitchen and Bath Unlimited for my own remodel, and 20 years later, I still recommend them to anyone. Their designers are amazing, their service outstanding, and right now their prices are unbeatable. For the first time ever, Decora Cabinets has cut prices by 25% to Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, and they're passing those savings directly to you. 25% off high-quality Decora cabinets for your new kitchen or bathroom, saving you thousands of dollars only at Kitchen and Bath Unlimited, Union Road near Walden in Cheektowaga.
If I know you won't stay here without my visa. WBEN 930 AM, as Buffalo as Beef on Weck.
This is Hammer Time Radio on WBEN Buffalo. It's Dominic Cortez, and the time's 11:37. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for calling in. And as promised, the next public hearing that you can attend, actually, you can go to any of them around the state. The next one physically is this Wednesday, the 10th, in Albany. But there's on Saturday the 13th, a virtual one at 11 a.m. It's a Zoom meeting, the event number being 845-1583-6765, and the call-in number 1-646-931-3860. That's the 13th of September. Again, New York Energy Plan. Google that. It's part of the New York State website. So we had an interesting little debate. Are you liable for damage to a tree that hangs over your property, that you trim those branches? Are you liable for the health of the tree? Apparently, a little Google search I did, and a texter's writing in that indeed you may be liable for the damage of that tree. So you may be responsible for its health and structure. So be mindful of that and be sure to have dialogue with your neighbor and agree on what's going to happen before you do it. 803-0930, let's travel to Orchard Park and chat with Barbara. Good morning, Barbara. You're next.
Yes, hi. How are you today?
Good, Barbara. Thanks for calling in.
I'm interested in getting a whole house generator, and I had one before at my other house, so I know how it works and everything. But my question is, when he came to give me the estimate, my neighbor next door just had one put in by a different company, and he pointed out that it had wood around the bottom of it, and that their company doesn't do that.
Wood around the bottom of the generator?
Yes.
Meaning a platform?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have the generator sit on a wooden platform. I would have it either sit on a concrete platform, or they have these.
I think it's on concrete, but then they put wood around it, around the concrete.
For what reason? Maybe to form the concrete, to pour it.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, those forms could be removed. There's no harm or foul in leaving them as well. But I just wouldn't build. I wouldn't place a generator on a wooden platform.
No. They put it on cement, but then there's wood around the cement.
Okay. Well, that was probably just to form the concrete, which is fine, and that's not going to do any harm or foul in leaving that.
Okay. Okay, and someone else I know, like it was an electrician, told me that if he put one in his house, he would have wood around it because in case it gets hit by lightning.
No, that's not going to do you any good. It should have its own electrical protection, grounding protection built into it. If it's hit by lightning, having wood anywhere near the generator is not going to have any value to protecting it from a lightning strike.
Okay, and then I was wondering, do you like recommend a certain generators, like company I got the estimate from? They do Generac.
Yeah, Generac is generally the most known and probably the best quality. I would judge a generator by its warranty, number one, and secondly, by who's installing it and do they service and oil change the generators on a regular schedule. I can send you to TRS because they will calendar your oil change so you don't have to remember to do that.
What is it, TRS?
TRS, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical, they're one of our Hammer Time sponsors.
Oh, okay, because I'll get an estimate from them too.
Yeah. And then the other thing about generators, Barb, that you should consider is how big. You want to do the whole house, or do you want to perhaps omit some of the circuits that you may not need in a power outage? And that would include rooms that you typically don't use, all the time. Maybe some things like basement lighting that you don't, generally wouldn't worry about. If the power goes out, you're not going to worry about going down in the basement, that kind of thing. But having the whole house is of value, but they do cost more in that they're bigger.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, dear. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Yep. Barbara's line now available as we travel next to Buffalo and chat with Tom. Good morning, Tom. You're next. Hello, Thomas.
Hello.
Hi, Tom. You're next.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Okay. One more hello, and we're going to say goodbye.
Hello.
Okay. Let me put Tim on hold. I don't know what's going on with that. Generators could really be a lifesaver, right, in a power outage. And it's so ironic that we're heading in a direction where we won't have that luxury because of electrification. Homes after January 1 won't be able to have a generator. So what do we do in a power outage is a magical question. A texter's writing, is there a gas-powered tankless water system? Gas-powered. Well, not necessarily powered. It would be electric start to a gas hot water tank, whether it's tankless or storage tank. They definitely do run on natural gas. Gas-powered, I'm not sure what you mean by the word powered. The start would have to be electric. So there'd be an electric start, no standing pilots. So that would be hopefully what you're looking for. A texter's writing, I believe you can trim a tree over your property as long as it's done properly and does not cause damage to the health and structure of the tree. Yeah, I think that would be a safe conclusion at this point. And another texter's writing, I would have homeowners consult a certified arborist without question, especially in this particular circumstance of having a tree trim that's not yours, that's affecting your property. Without question, I'd want to have somebody who knew what they were doing and had knowledge of how to trim a tree and not affect its health. Be the one to do that so as to minimize your liability in so doing. I guess, you live and learn, and I was perhaps a little pig-headed in saying that you're not responsible for a tree that you trim your branches of because you're protecting your own property. But again, it does make sense that you might have some liability there if it's done improperly. So yes, hire a certified arborist and make sure it's done properly and make sure that they know what they're doing as far as the kind of tree and protecting its health. And in the case of the first caller, that they were concerned about the tree looking lopsided, I think that's really, going to be grossly unattractive for everybody to look at. And if they're selling the house, it might be something they definitely would want to deal with, but they as you remember, as you may have heard him say, they didn't want to deal with the visual of it. They just wanted to not spend the money. A little short-sighted, I think, huh? Okay. As far as the generator question, sizing a generator, I did not, when we had the generator installed at the house, I did not have the whole house done. It's probably, I don't know, 75, 80% of the house is covered. And yeah, it's okay. You know, the rooms that aren't covered, the lighting that's not covered, it does not that inconsequential or that consequential to our functionality in the house. So, you know, I don't think it's absolutely mandatory that you do the whole house. It's a great added luxury to be able to say the whole house is covered. You know, so there's something to be said about that. But in my case, like I said, about 80% of the house is covered, and a couple rooms that the lights are not connected. Well, I don't know. I didn't probably save that much either when I consider the fact that only 20% of the house is not covered. But it was a size difference on the wattage of the generator, so that's why I opted for that size. It was a step down from, you know, the next big step up, so that helped save a little money. A texter's writing, if your neighbor refuses to have you trim up branches that are hanging onto their property, and then someone else ends up happening where the damage happens to a branch coming down, is because you offered to take care of it at your expense and they refused. These texters say they had this situation occur to them, and let me just get this cleaned up here because I'm not following along the train, but I'll check the wording on that text and we'll report back. It is coming up to 11:47, and our next break is going to happen right now. So I'll get this text straightened out and we'll report on that and more. And your questions, 8030930. Hammer Time Radio on WBEN.
Attention contractors, this is Dominic Ortiz here to remind you that Herb Company is your trusted source for top quality contractor installed products. From tankless hot water heaters to energy efficient boilers and radiant heating systems, Herb has what you need to stay ahead of the curve. With building code changes coming next year, costs are likely to rise. So now's the time to lock in savings. Visit herbcompany.com or call one of our knowledgeable sales associates at 825-1400 today. Plan ahead and save with Herb Company, your partner in excellence.
Lakeshore Bank believes in community banking with exceptional customer service and local expertise. Lakeshore Bank is here to help you with all your financial needs. From home financing to small business banking, Lakeshore Bank gives you access to state-of-the-art online banking tools and the attention, flexibility, and responsiveness you deserve. Visit one of Lakeshore Bank's 10 Western New York branches. Call 716-366-4070 or visit mylsbank.com today.
Hi, it's Dominic Ortiz. Whenever someone asks me, who do you call for roof repair or replacement, I say call Ava Roofing and Siding. They install over 1.5 million square feet of shingles and siding annually across Western New York. When you call Ava, you get superior service, including expert foreman on every job. Get an on-the-spot free written estimate and project drawing for your roof replacement or repair by calling 343-ROOF or go to avaroofing.com. Ava also offers 0% financing. When quality matters, call Ava Roofing. This is Dominic Ortiz. Fall is on its way, and winter's not far behind. Make sure your home stays comfortable all season long with a $99 health and safety checkup from TRS Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an upgrade? Well, TRS can recommend a high-efficiency Rheem system to keep you cozy and warm with flexible financing to fit your budget. Nothing beats Rheem. Visit TRSHeatingandAirConditioning.com for details. TRS Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Excellence. Powering tomorrow, comforting today.
News Radio 930 AM WBEN.
Hammer Time listeners, it's time to gorilla your basement. Right now, get 10% off our beautiful resinous basement floor, 20% off custom cabinet and storage solutions, and a whopping 30% off truss core panels to get your basement holiday ready. Why is the Gorilla Floor the best in West New York? We're the only ones bold enough to guarantee protection against the number one cause of floor failure, moisture. Every Gorilla Floor comes with a built-in vapor barrier at no extra cost. No shortcuts, no peeling, no failures, just Gorilla Strong Protection. Visit GorillaGarageGear.com.
WBEN.
Dominic Ortiz here. Fall's around the corner and the perfect time to get your home ready for winter. USA Insulation's premium foam seals every gap, keeping warm air in and the Buffalo chill out. Keep your home cozy and your heating bills stay lower. New York homeowners may qualify for up to 80% off installation costs with state and federal incentives. USA Insulation even offers spray foam for homes and businesses. Call 716-431-4500 or USAinsulation.com.
USA Insulation.
And tell them Dominic sent you.
Stay tuned right after Hammer Time for Senior Radio Buffalo, hosted by Linda Pellegrino. Senior Radio is dedicated to informing and educating baby boomers and active seniors all over Western New York. Coming up at noon.
11:50 is Hammer Time. Good morning from Dominic. And to clean up that text I was trying to get through, just so you know, our text board is the hardest thing to follow because the texts are stacked over each other. So we have to actually go backwards. Anyway, so the essence of this story is they had an issue with a tree hanging over their property line. They went to the neighbor who happened to be an apartment building with a landlord, and they refused. They had gotten a quote, and their landlord refused to cooperate. Get ready for this. There then was an ensuing windstorm, and branches did fall, doing damage to the person's property who filed the complaint against the landlord by suggesting that the tree's branches be trimmed down. And because they had an estimate prior to the incident, guess what? The texture's telling us that the building owner, the landlord of the apartment complex, was liable for the damage. How do you like that? That is really something. I guess it's important to have dialogue and to have a healthy conversation about this because of the liability side of it. To the phones we go, and Dansville is a stop. Mike, good morning. You're on WBEN. Thanks for calling in.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I have a four-family apartment house, and I have discovered that we have a vermiculite attic insulation. I've taken some samples. I haven't submitted them yet to the company. I found a part of a paper bag from the original insulation that's probably installed, I guess, in the 50s or so. Is there some way to do this? I don't want to open Pandora's box. I don't want to freak out the tenants by crews showing up in spacesuits to remove the stuff. Is this something that can be done kind of discreetly, or should I could probably hire a couple of guys with a shop vac and give a couple cases of beer and
Well,
for me?
What concern do you have? If it's a cellulose product, that's just newspaper.
No, it's not cellulose. It's actually vermiculite, and it's like a mineral of some kind.
Okay, yeah.
They contain asbestos.
Right. Okay, now I know what you mean. Well, what I would probably do is consult with an insulation contractor. Have you done that yet?
I don't want to panic anybody, but
Well, will you start by saying that you want to look into adding more insulation in the attic? Right. So nobody needs to know what you're talking about yet. Right. And then consult with them. They would be the most knowledgeable on how to deal with that and whether there's concern. Perhaps it could be just left in place and maybe insulation added to it and cellulose perhaps added on top of it. And maybe it would eliminate, any cause for concern by doing it that way. I mean, it has been in place for years. How old is the structure?
1900.
Yeah, so there you go. A lot of those hazards become inert over time and only become an issue by then, upsetting them and disturbing it, and then the possibility of ingestion would be the consequence. So leaving it in place, in my gut is telling me, would be the thing to do, and maybe add to it by perhaps having cellulose blown in over it. How many inches thick is it?
It's probably about 4 inches.
Yeah. So, and how much depth of rafter do we have to work with?
Probably 6.
Yeah. So you can bring several inches on top of that, and really, believe it or not, it's going to have a dramatic impact on the heat loss too by adding the cellulose on top of that. You could even blow in fiberglass as well, loose fiberglass or cellulose. Cellulose is going to give you more R value per inch, but the problem with cellulose is it tends to move, especially in a draftier attic. If you have a lot of air current, the cellulose will kind of relocate itself a little bit over time. Do you pay the gas bill in this building?
No, I don't. My tenants, it has 4 separate zones.
Okay. So they're going to love you for doing this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to have insulation added just to keep them comfortable. And again, I've health concerns and things like that I want to avoid as well.
I frankly think, without question, Mike, it's going to be safer to leave it in place and just add insulation to what's there.
Now, another quick twist. If you have a moment,
Sure.
There may be some of that older style wiring.
Knob and tube. Okay, so let me retract the idea of using cellulose, unless you deal with the knob and tube.
I don't know if it's active or not. Some of the, when I purchased the property, some of the electrical had been updated, and I don't know if it's in use and left.
I would make damn sure that it's not before I added cellulose, because the hazard of that is obvious. Even though the cellulose is fire treated, I wouldn't want to put newspaper next to electrical line that could be overheated and then could possibly cause a fire. This is a real hazard with knob and tube. It does lose that insulation over time, and basically you're talking about conducting electricity, with a line that is, if exposed, could interact with anything burnable. So yeah, no question, I would want to deal with that first. If it is active knob and tube, well, frankly, without question, when we have knob and tube, we need to get rid of it. So that's the answer to that question. If it's active knob and tube, I'd put my effort into that before I insulate it.
Okay, electrical contractor then?
Absolutely. Yeah, right.
Pretty good. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Good luck with the process. All right, Mike. Yeah. Cause and effect, right? We want to do something good, and something bad happens by a result of a fire from adding insulation. A texture's writing down this week's Ask the Old House is doing a segment on powering a house. They're comparing cost of electricity to fuel oil to natural gas. Very interesting. They had a couple levels at all 3 prices per kilowatt hour. It appears natural gas wins. Well, okay. You would understand that better than I. Thanks for all your coverage on the upcoming nightmare. Yeah, well, you're welcome to that. No question, hands down, without any reservation, natural gas is the best energy value. Where have you heard that before? That's their cell line. And it's true. Natural gas is the best energy value. There is nothing that compares to the efficiency, the quality, the reliability as is natural gas, hands down. And we've had power company people sit in this studio with me and tell me that electricity is otherwise. Electricity is not reliable. It is more expensive. And why we're putting our dependence there is a mystery. And I don't know whether we'll ever get the answer to that question. But be that as it may, yes, natural gas is the energy choice for efficiency and reliability. You've heard me say this on air several times. You never hear of a natural gas outage, right? Think about it. Have you ever in your life heard of a natural gas outage? But yet we hear of a power outage all the time. Labor Day, it was a sunny day, Monday. Our power went out. Okay? No rhyme, no reason. Our power went out in Clarence, and the generator turned on. And it was just so ironic to think about it, since I've been talking so much about this, that the idea of having a generator is going to disappear from our landscape with new construction as of January 1. And I hope, people, that you're up in arms about this, because you need to be. We need to continue to complain to state officials and to the governor that this is not acceptable, that we don't want to lose our natural gas. Well, let's see. Next Saturday, we're on location, right, at a Lakeshore Savings Branch, and we're looking forward to that. And want to wish the Bills good luck. Go Bills. We'll see you Sunday at the game. And always remember, life may be hard by the yard, but by the inch, it's a cinch. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching on YouTube. We'll see you next week.
Always live on the free Honesty app.